Vice President. Spokesman Ed Donovan says the drivers get a special license from the DMV.
Yeah, you or I could not just step onto a bus
Listening
and
about
start driving.
the
You have to have the proper training, and you
new
have to have a
presidential
commercial driver's
bus.
license.
And of course, there's some training that Greyhound drivers don't get. Author Ronald Kessler watched Secret Service drivers train at a facility in Maryland.
Agents will be taught to back up at very high rates of speed, just using the mirrors on either side. Really takes a lot of guts to do that.
White House spokesman Jay Carney sounds like a fan. As he was flying to Minnesota on Air Force One, he told reporters, the president needs to get out in the country and meet with real folks in real places. And as you know, a plane this size is hard to get into small communities. In Durham, PR News, Washington.
You're listening to KCRW 89.9 FM. I'm Matt Holzman here in the studios of the station with Jennifer Farrow. We're going to go back to All Things Considered from National Public Radio in just a moment. It's KCRW's summer membership drive, though. We're going to try to convince you to go to the phone and support this great station. The number to call is 800-600-KCRW.
I want to thank some of the people who are doing what we've asked them to do, like Scott Scobie from Port Wainini, brand new member. Thank you, Scott. Jesse Jackson from La Quinta is a new monthly member, and you can do the same thing. All you got to do is call us at 800-600-5279. Antoinette and Michael from Los Angeles are also renewing members. So is Marilyn Ader. Lori Bush and Pia De Leon from Los Angeles are also renewing members. Thank you so much. And if you are someone who needs to renew or someone who's never given to KCRW before, do it now. It feels good. You're doing a good thing. And you take care of business in a couple of minutes and talk to a great person on the other end of the line. Or you could just not talk to anybody and go online at kcrw.com and do it that way. 1-800-600-5279 or kcrw.com.
You know, it's interesting that public radio stations like KCRW have really become more than just radio stations. We've become media organizations, and we try to create great content no matter where you're listening and what you need, whether it be on the radio or online, on your smartphone, you know, on your iPad, wherever. But we're going to go away an iPad in a couple of hours. And yet the station in some ways is also very anachronistic. We go on the radio and ask for your support. And we have volunteers come down and answer your phone. And then we thank people on the air. I mean, it's really kind of old-fashioned. It's old-fashioned, and it's interesting in a gigantic metropolitan area like Los Angeles that we still do it this old-fashioned way. We still take the time to thank people who give money. And we like it that way because it really is a community of listeners. If you're a person who listens to this station, you have more in common with a person in Montana who listens to public radio there than your next door neighbor that doesn't listen to public radio at all. So in being part of a community, though, means you've got to support the station. If you think it's important, if you think it represents something that's important to you, we want you to take a moment and give a few bucks to KCRW. Let me give you that number again. We've got nobody on the line. The number is 800-600-KCRW. Think about how much you use the station and what it means to you, and then give a few bucks. It makes a huge difference. Your support of the station is what keeps us strong and independent and unique. Call us now, please.
800-600-5279. Here's a way to reward yourself for being a monthly member. You can do $10 a month, $20 a month. Go to Errands for fine organically grown, gluten-free, macrobiotic, raw, kosher, and chemical-free products. Visit Errands Natural Foods, committed to bringing you the highest quality and largest selection of organic, natural, and raw foods and products in Los Angeles. Be good to you.
Kelly McEvers, NPR News.
This is 89.3 KPCC. I'm Shirley Jihad in California. Public school students are showing a slight improvement in academic performance. That's according to an annual standardized test, as KPCC's Adolfo Guzman Lopez explained.
That line is just ignored completely. It's not like anyone fucking cares about that line that's supposed to direct traffic in the turn. They just drive right through it. Like it's not even there.
As a teacher, honestly, I think a lot of teachers don't agree, but I think it's the best thing that happened at his school.
Maybe not the best for making science fun. Amana said the focus on standardized tests does make it clear to her what her IROs expect in the classroom.
What were the class sizes like?
That's pretty much.
Tourism, the elected superintendent of public instruction, paid a visit to his class to talk shop. And Dorlickson and a couple of dozen educators will see him from his library and share the story of his goals.
California students continue to steadily improve their performance across the board. Academic performance across the board.
Will the bus stop or will it roll through the light?
And above on the
schools
It
focused
stops.
on year-to-year
It turns green.
grades rather than results.
People are
Statewide,
crossing.
percentage of students who demonstrated proficiency in
Oh,
mastery of English and
the
math
chaos
rose by
and
10%
carnage.
compared to the previous year. In Elmwood Unified, the increase was 14% in English and 12% in math, said Elmwood Unified Superintendent John Daisy.
Incredibly proud of the work that's taken place in LA and is shared by everyone who works with her in the last couple of years in incredible circumstances.
But the test results paint a different picture of achievement. Statewide, 54% of students demonstrated proficiency or mastery on the English standardized test. In math, it was 50%. That means that just under half of the state's students are not proficient in the basics of the subjects educators believe they need to get ahead and work in college. In LA Unified Schools, more than half of students could not demonstrate proficiency in the math or English standardized tests. The percentage of students who scored proficient or better in English at Reseda High was just a little bit better than district-wide. The incredible circumstances Superintendent Daisy talked about are the multi-billion-dollar funding cuts to California schools in recent years. United Teachers Los Angeles President Warren Fletcher wondered if improvement could be sustained.
These are last year's test scores. We had successes last year. But we did that with last year's teachers, and last year's psychologists, and last year's counselors, and last year's psychiatric social workers, and I could go, and last year's teacher librarians.
About 1,400 LA Unified employees in those positions no longer have a job at the
Yes,
district.
putting on
One
a
of them
makeup
is
is
Reseda High's
perfect
library clerk.
for a
After
stoplight.
the superintendents left and the podium was carted off, the librarian had to turn away students who wanted to use the library because she had to do the clerk's work and couldn't supervise students who wanted to study. Adolfo Guzman Lopez, 89.3 KPCC.
Billionaire Warren Buffett says he can do the math. He wrote an op-ed in the New York Times today advocating higher taxes on the super rich, concluding that he and his friends have been, quote, coddled long enough by a billionaire-friendly Congress. He says it's time for the government to get serious about shared sacrifice. We've got Marketplace coming up in just a moment. Support for NPR provided by Shell, helping deliver natural gas worldwide to meet growing energy needs. More at shell.us/letsgo. The John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, and Angie's List, providing consumer reviews on local professionals from physicians and vets to plumbers and roofers.
This is Larry Mansell. Next time on Air Talk, the authors of Joint Custody with a Jerk, Raising a Child with an Uncooperative Ex. It's Air Talk, weekday mornings at 10. You are
Marketplace is supported by Putnam Investments, where performance is driven by original fundamental research on a global scale. This is Putnam Today, produced in